Hello, everybody. Okay, April 2nd, 2009. The G20. I want to make a video about that. Now it seems like it's over. There's a document which I haven't read, but I listened to President Obama, most of his speech, and then the whole Q&A session. So here goes. And the title of this video is going to be called G20 Rescue the World, because that seems to be what they were releasing. He talked about closely working with President Gordon Brown and his team for this plan to rescue the world. And as I kind of take in what's going on, I understand a lot of you, my friends and subscribers, and a lot of people over there in the UK that, obviously, there's tons of people over there that aren't subscribers, but I appreciate all the ones that are. It seems like a few of you are not fond of Gordon Brown. So I'm going to read the Financial Times and more of those British periodicals to kind of get an idea more of what he's done. Sounds like it's analogous to what President Bush kind of has been doing to, or helped do to our economy, which is a lot of debt and a depression. I just took a bunch of notes on what President Obama said, because I was trying to get into his mind, okay? And I suggest everybody think about what he's thinking. Think about what these world leaders are thinking and what they're saying. It was important. This meeting was very important. Quotes. These are from President Obama. They all need to come together. I believe this is just the beginning. I had a bilateral meeting with Russia, China, Saudi Arabia, Britain. He talked about the document. I'm going to need to read the document. Talked about the scourge of climate change. And towards the end of his speech, he talked about that if the people of China and India used as much energy as the people of the United States, that we would have all melted by now. I disagree with Obama on climate change and global warming, and I think some of you do out there. And so when I see those protesters out there talking about climate change, I think, oh my gosh, they don't understand economics. More quotes from President Obama. Enormous strides in regulatory reform. World recession. I would rather not specify. On one of the questions, I think that was how to spend the $1 trillion. And the G20, as you probably will see headlines on Drudge Report or whatever, $1 trillion from the G20 countries to those countries that are struggling. I personally don't like that, because that means that they're going to take Americans' money, which many of them, a lot of them right now are living in tents. A lot of them are losing their houses. Just people are working 3 jobs. Americans are not doing that well right now. Just go look around. Just go look at, it's kind of sad, whether you go to Walmart or whether you just see people trying to hang in there, trying to survive, barely making payments. And, if I was going to give money, I used to live in Argentina. I saw tons of people that were happy, but they lived in caves. They lived in chapas and these little houses made out of tin and wood and things like that. And nobody had a toilet in these whole barrios with, no toilet and no running water. You got to go get a bucket somewhere and get to a well or a fountain and bring it over. Tons of people live like that. I would rather, take my money and go give it to those people in Argentina. I've always wanted to do that. And I've, done it in a very, 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 very small way. But, that's one of my dreams, is to help out the people in Argentina. So now I guess I'll be helping out people I don't know, or there'll be some administrator handing it out in some country, which, less accountability. Takes power away from everyday Americans and gives it to not only domestic bureaucrats, but worldwide bureaucrats. World Bank and the IMF will be handing out $1 trillion. So that's less freedom for Americans and more control in an international scale. Man, this kind of coordination really is historic. Negotiating this quickly on fixing the world economy. Quotes from President Obama. G20 cooperation, once again, historic. Then I was looking for some of the cryptic remarks. We will not know how effective we have been until, we look back a year or 2 or 3 from now. I think President Obama, in the back of his mind, is still allowing for a more severe worldwide economic downturn. The principles that we outlined theoretically, he talked about shareholders should do the right thing as far as their CEOs and executive compensation, but he talked about there needed to be a shame function. I guess when people make too much money for doing too well in business. And I just like watching these things, and oh my gosh. And then once somebody said, well, these steps prevent a worldwide depression. Then Obama said this: in life, there are no guarantees, and in economics, there are no guarantees. Did you hear that one? I have no doubt that the steps we have taken, will help things. And then he went into this: the patient is stabilized. There are still wounds and emergencies that could arise. So basically the gist of this: we still have problems out there. We've set a framework with the G20. So what I anticipate, Man of Truth right here on YouTube, thanks again YouTube for a chance to stream, is there'll be some further economic emergencies. The G20 will quickly convene and we'll have even more draconian measures, which a lot of people will feel are necessary. Obviously, the leaders of the world that are in elected office right now and appointed office feel that this globalization, this new system, is the way to go. So I watch all the hints, whether it's Henry Kissinger on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange or Henry Kissinger on Fox, wherever. I'm watching all these things and putting the puzzle together. 30-year bond was at 3.55%. Gold was down $20. What does that tell me? Just a little. We have deflation ahead. We're going to continue on in this economic downturn. And then the last guy to ask a question was a guy called Chip, and he talked about the House of Cards. Well, I'm going to make another video real soon on Kramer, because Kramer is talking about the end of the Depression. So that has to be a separate video today because it's an important thing. The G20, to summarize, is continuing the foundation of a new world order, of international coordination, of international regulation, $1 trillion to the World Bank. The agenda continues at an accelerated pace, and we will be in a worldwide regulated economy, increasingly with each month that passes. Man of Truth in Utah. Adios, amigos.